Long ago, there was an old farmer who lived with his wife and their son Peter. They had a simple and quiet life. The farmer worked hard every day in the fields to take care of his family. Peter was a good boy who loved his parents very much. The family was happy together. One day the farmer became very sick. His health got worse and worse. His wife and Peter took care of him every day, hoping he would get better. But after some time the farmer passed away. The family felt very sad and lonely. Peter's mother cried for many days. She missed her husband so much. Peter tried to comfort his mother, but it was not easy because she was very upset. At night, Peter's mother looked up at the sky and asked herself, "What will we do now? How can we live without him?" She felt worried and afraid. But after many weeks of sadness, she decided to be strong. She knew she had to take care of Peter and herself. She could not stay sad forever. Before the farmer died, he left some money for his family. There was £200 in total. It was not a lot, but it could help them for a short time. Peter's mother thought carefully and made a plan. She told Peter to take half of the money and go to town. She asked him to buy salt, flour, and bread. She hoped the food would last until spring. After that, they could find work to earn money. Peter listened to his mother and took the money. He put it carefully in his pocket and started walking to the town. On his way, he saw many people gathered outside a butcher's shop. Curious, he walked closer to see what was happening. He saw the butcher tying a poor old dog to a tree. The butcher was hitting the dog with a stick. The dog was crying because it was in pain. Peter felt sad for the dog. He pushed through the crowd and shouted to the butcher, "Why are you hurting this poor dog?" The butcher said angrily, "This dog ate some of my best beef this morning. How can I sell meat if this stupid dog eats it? I am angry and I have no money." Peter looked at the dog's sad eyes and said, "I think the dog was hungry and scared. I want to help him. I will buy him from you for £100. The butcher laughed and said, "You are crazy. You want to spend £100 on this old dog?" Peter said, "Yes, I am serious." The butcher smiled and said, "Okay, if you want the dog, give me the money." Peter gave the butcher the money and took the dog with him. Peter named the dog Leo. Leo was very happy and jumped to kiss Peter's face with his big pink tongue. Leo knew Peter saved his life. They became good friends. Peter and Leo walked slowly home, side by side. When Peter came home, he told his mother what he had done. She was very angry. She said, "You spent all our money on a dog. We have no food left. What will your father say if he sees this?" Peter tried to explain, "Mother, this dog is our good luck." But she did not listen. She gave Peter half of the small cake she had made and left him alone to eat. That night, Peter shared his small meal with Leo. Even though they had very little food, Peter felt happy because Leo was with him. The dog was kind and loyal. Peter believed that Leo would bring good luck to their family. The story shows us that even in difficult times, kindness and love are important. Losing the farmer was very sad for the family, but Peter's mother found the courage to take care of her son. Peter's heart was full of kindness when he saved Leo. This kindness gave them hope for the future. They started a new journey together, with love and hope in their hearts. Peter's mother was worried. She gave Peter the last £100 and said, "This is all we have left. You must be very careful this time. Buy food, not anything else." Peter promised his mother and took the money again. He put it in his pocket and walked slowly to the town. On the way, Peter saw a small boy. The boy had tied a rope around the neck of an old cat and was dragging her on the ground. The cat looked scared and tired. Peter stopped and asked the boy, "Why are you doing this to the cat?" The boy answered, "This cat stole one of my mother's cookies. I want to teach her a lesson. I will throw her in the river." Peter felt sad. He said, "Don't hurt her. I want to buy the cat from you for £100. The boy was surprised but agreed. Peter gave him the money and took the cat. He named her Pika. When Peter went home with Pika, his mother was very angry. She said, "You spent our last money on a cat. How can we live without food?" Peter tried to explain, "Mother, Pika will bring us good luck," but she was too upset to listen. She told Peter to leave the house. "Find your own way," she said. "Take the dog and the cat with you." Peter felt sad, but he knew he had to go. He took Leo and Pika and left his home. Peter walked many days, looking for work and a place to live. Leo and Pika stayed by his side and never left him. One evening, Peter came to a small village. He saw a priest closing the door of a church. The priest noticed Peter and asked, "Where are you going with your dog and cat?" Peter answered, "I am looking for work and a home." The priest smiled and said, "If you work for me for 3 years, I will give you food and a place to stay. After that, I will pay you well." Peter was happy and accepted the offer. Peter worked very hard for the priest. He was honest and kind. After 3 years, the priest called Peter and said, "You have been a good worker. Now you can choose your payment." The priest showed Peter 3 bags. One bag was full of gold coins. Another bag was full of silver coins. The third bag was full of sand. Peter thought carefully. Gold and silver were valuable, but sand seemed strange. Peter decided to take the bag of sand. He believed there was a special meaning behind this choice. Peter left the priest and continued his journey with the bag of sand. After walking for many days, he came to a dark and quiet forest. In the middle of the forest, there was a fire burning. A young woman was tied to a tree inside the fire. She cried, "Please help me, stop the fire." Peter felt scared but wanted to help her. He quickly threw the sand on the fire and put it out. He untied the young woman and saved her. The woman told Peter she was the daughter of the king of the elf kingdom. A cruel king, who was fighting with her father, had trapped her. She was very grateful to Peter. To say thank you, she gave him a beautiful gold ring with shining jewels. She told Peter, "This ring is magic. It can give you anything you want. To use its power, just throw it from one hand to the other, but you must keep this a secret. If you tell anyone, the ring will bring you sadness." Peter was surprised and happy. He threw the ring from hand to hand. Suddenly, 10 young men appeared. They said, "Master, tell us what you want. We will bring it to you." Peter was amazed. He asked them to take him back to his mother. They traveled together through the forest, over mountains, and across rivers. This part of the story teaches us many lessons. Peter's kindness saved the princess's life. His wise choice of the bag of sand showed that sometimes what seems simple may have great meaning. The magic ring symbolizes hope and new opportunities. Peter's journey is full of challenges, but he is brave and caring. This encourages us to be kind, make wise choices, and believe in the power of hope. Peter was very happy to return home with Leo, Pika, and the magic ring. His mother was glad to see him again. Peter used the ring to ask for food, drink, and many wonderful things. Each time he threw the ring from one hand to the other, 10 young men appeared to help him. They brought the best food and drink for Peter, Leo, and Pika. The family celebrated their new luck and lived happily for many months. Peter wanted to marry the princess who had given him the magic ring. He asked his mother to visit the king's palace and ask for permission. The mother was worried. She said, "A farmer's son cannot marry a king's daughter. It is too dangerous. The king may be angry," but Peter was sure. He wanted to marry the princess and would not change his mind. The mother went to the palace and asked the king. The king was angry and said, "How can a king's daughter marry a farmer? Bring me beautiful and expensive gifts. Then we will talk." The king thought this would end the problem because he believed Peter could not give such gifts. Peter used the magic ring to create beautiful clothes, jewels, and gifts. His mother brought these gifts to the king. The king was surprised and a little worried. He did not want his daughter to marry a farmer, but he could not ignore the gifts. The king then gave a difficult task. Peter must build a shining palace, a silver bridge with golden mango trees, and a great church before the next morning. If he could not do this, both Peter and his mother would lose their heads. Peter was not afraid. Using the magic ring, he quickly built the palace, bridge, and church. The king was amazed and had to agree to the marriage. The wedding was grand and beautiful. Peter and the princess became husband and wife and lived in the palace next to the king. However, the princess was proud and unhappy. She did not like that her father had married her to a simple farmer. She wanted to get rid of Peter. One night, she gave Peter extra wine at dinner. When Peter was drunk, she asked him about the magic ring. Peter, not careful, told her the secret. The princess took the ring from his finger while he was asleep and used its power to take the palace, bridge, and church to a faraway kingdom. She left Peter alone in their bed. The next morning, the king was angry to hear that his daughter was gone. He wanted to find her but did not know where she was. Peter was surprised and confused. The king ordered guards to put Peter in a tall stone tower. Peter was locked inside with no food or water. The king wanted Peter to suffer. Leo and Pika were very sad. Leo ran to Peter's mother and told her what happened. Pika was resting by the fire and did not want to help. Leo scolded Pika for being lazy. Feeling guilty, Pika agreed to help. Together, Leo and Pika made a plan to bring food to Peter. The next day, Pika went into the village. She ran between the people's feet and made them drop their bread. Leo quickly caught the bread and took it to Peter. This happened many times, and Peter was able to survive in the tower. After 1 year, Leo said to Pika, "We cannot keep doing this. We must find the magic ring and help Peter." Leo and Pika traveled far. They crossed mountains, rivers, and oceans. Pika held tightly to Leo's back. They found the palace where the princess was living. Pika sneaked into the servants' rooms and became a good helper. The servants let Pika and Leo stay in the palace. They watched the princess carefully. The princess always wore the magic ring. Leo and Pika wondered if she took it off to sleep. But her bedroom was locked, and they were too big to enter. They needed help, so they went to the kingdom of the mice. Leo told the mice they were strong and asked for help. The mice were afraid and agreed. A brave mouse soldier slipped under the princess's door at midnight. He took the magic ring from her finger. The next morning, Leo and Pika had the ring again. They were very happy. They returned to the tower and threw the ring inside to Peter. Peter was very weak because he had no food for days. When he saw the ring, he threw it from hand to hand and asked the 10 young men to bring food and drink. Peter was free again. He asked for music to play. The music was so beautiful that everyone listened quietly. The king heard the music. He was angry but could not stop the sound. His soldiers tried, but they too could only listen and sing happily. Finally, the king came himself but could not move. He was very sad and gave up. The king asked Peter to tell him the story. Peter explained about the ring and the princess. The king was sad because his daughter had done wrong. He asked Peter if he could forgive her. Peter was kind and said yes. He could not let the princess be punished. The princess came back to the palace. She learned to love Peter. They lived happily together. Peter never took off the magic ring again. Leo and Pika were always by his side. This story teaches us many important lessons. It shows the power of kindness, love, loyalty, and forgiveness. Even when things are difficult, we should be brave and help others. We should also forgive those who make mistakes. Kindness and understanding bring happiness and peace. Thank you for listening to the whole story of Peter, Leo, and Pika. This story teaches us about kindness, courage, and forgiveness. Peter lost his father but did not give up. He helped the poor dog and cat, Leo and Pika, and they became his true friends. Through hard work and good choices, Peter found a magic ring that changed his life. Even when facing problems and challenges, he stayed kind and brave. At the end, Peter forgave the princess and found happiness with his friends by his side. The story shows us that being kind to others can bring good things back to us. It also teaches us to be strong when life is hard and to forgive people who make mistakes. Sometimes, we need patience and understanding to find peace and happiness. Peter's story reminds us that love and kindness are more powerful than anything else. In your life, you can use these lessons too. When you see someone in need, help them. When you face difficulties, stay calm and work hard. If someone hurts you, try to forgive them. This will help you feel better and make your life happier. Remember, small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Congratulations! You have finished listening and understanding this English story. This is a great step to improve your English listening skills. Keep practicing every day, and you will get better and better. Now, here is a simple question for you. Which quality helped Peter most in his journey? A. Being kind and brave. B. Being angry and proud. Please write your answer, A or B, in the comments below. We would love to know your opinion. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Your subscription gives us the motivation to create more helpful English learning content. Also, if you want to help us continue this work, you can donate. We do this for free to help you learn English, but your support makes it easier to keep making good stories for you. Thank you very much.